Hey, welcome to Direct Joy. Cherie here. We've had 2 weeks off. Where have I been? Well, I've been kind of recalibrating and working out where I'm going, which I still don't have any idea because who does? And just generally taking a bit of a rest. And it was half term, so enjoying some time with the children. But now I'm back, raring to go. And today we're talking about when is too much too much. Ooh. So I'm Cherie. And before we get stuck in, I'll just let you know a little bit about me. I am a psychologist, a psychotherapist, a counsellor. I've got experience in loads of walks of life, but the ones that are probably most pertinent to this are counselling, charity work and prison work, NHS, loads of NHS experience, and I'm now in private practice based in Bexhill, and I work with a variety of people with whatever they show up with, really, kind of, come as you are, and that's what we do. So at the moment I've been working online, and I've also been doing some ecotherapy. And that's about me. Direct Joy is about coming to you, directly to you, either live or through the replays, to give you a bit of an insight as to what I think is kind of pertinent at the moment. What is pertinent is my word for today. What's going on? So I get some questions buzzed through to me from various people, and various literally questions come up through the week, and it's like, oh, okay, there's a theme and a thread here. And I thought, what would it be like to bring this stuff directly out? Because I'm sure there's other people who aren't messaging me that are in my networks. So and other people as well. So reaching far and offering it for free, because it's hard to get some mental and emotional health stuff out there for free. And so I wanted to do that. I thought I'd start the conversation about different things, and it's working really well. So today we're talking about when is too much, and what is it about giving? And I'm not talking about just financial stuff. I'm mainly talking about time and energy, to be honest, because, we're to kind of give you that kind of caveat to start with, it's about burnout. And I have direct experience of burnout. So I'm talking from a very personal place of that happening to me, and it was pretty rubbish, I can tell you. And it took me a long time to get back from that place. But I must say now, I definitely think doing the work and going to that place and coming back from it has created a kind of bit more of a kick-ass version of me, to be honest. And it's interesting because once I acknowledged it, once I acknowledged that I was giving out, once I acknowledged that my no's were just so wishy-washy, and that's not from a place of judgment, that's from a place of love. That's saying, okay, well, what is going on here? What's going on where we give so much? We come from a place where being generous is like really the thing to do, and we get rewarded for our generosity. It's that kind of give and take. It's very much like that in conversation, isn't it? Turn taking. Whereas therapy is different, right? We don't do any turn taking in therapy, or I don't in the way I work. In the way that I work, the spotlight's on you, okay? The spotlight's on me to show up and do some work and help you with interpreting where you're at and what's going on and what's showing up. But actually the work is, you get a lot of time to do some talking, and you get a lot of time to do some processing, and I get a lot of time to soak that in and then feed it back to you as to how professionally and therapeutically and emotionally and mentally we can actually work out what the hell is going on, and how you want to understand that. And it comes at it from different angles then, and becomes really exciting to actually have your life, your being, your whole self, your whole soul worked with and nurtured. We do it with our bodies, don't we? With exercise, with massage, with good food. But do we really do that for our emotional, mental and soul self, our actual human being? So that's kind of what I do in I offer that as an opportunity in therapy, or part of what I do is that. I don't know how I even got there. What is it like to be giving too much, and the fact that it's rewarded? Kind of, I like it. I like it. As a mother, I'm like, yeah, sharing is caring, and, sharing, generosity, of course, I love to receive gifts. Like, if you checked out my Instagram this week, I received the bestest new mug for cacao. I absolutely love it, from one of my sisters. As you can see, it's a cacao day. When isn't? I love to receive flowers. I love clothes. I love earrings. I am a gift person. Yeah, that is definitely my love language. And if you don't know about love languages, Google that, because love languages are just amazingly helpful to understand the people that you love, but also to understand yourself and your reactions to it. And that's a whole nother direct joy. So we'll definitely come back to that one. That brings up questions for me to offer. So we can love it. It's helpful for our self-worth. We can love that generosity and that giving. But what's it like? What else does that bring up? So for me, in the back of my mind, when there's something about loving receiving and loving giving, there's something about lack. Because if it's not there, what's happening? There's a separation. So stay with me with this, right? So you give. What are you left with? Oh, it's okay, I'm receiving. I receive. To what ends? What's it for? What's the intention? And this is where the gap's created, right? So this is where the gap. So it's give, receive, receive, give, receive. It's good to give, it's good to share. Yeah. But actually, what's this space in between? Because I think my understanding of what I've read and experienced and worked with is this creates a lack. And this lack space, this dark lack space in between is, well, 1 minute, I'm giving lots and this isn't being met because I'm not receiving. Ooh, nasty. Because then, okay, I'll give more. Now, we all know that we can just keep giving and giving. Now, if my wonderful sister, who then bought me 10 of these mugs, which I don't need, right? But if she did, because she knows how much I love to receive gifts, or because she wants to, or because she feels that I need that for whatever reason, she's going to be skint, right? There's not going to be many takeaways for her this weekend because she's bought me 10 of them. And do I need them? But somehow it starts equating for perceived lacks, and it starts depleting of our abundance. Now, I'm using money and gifts as an example, as a way in for this, because this is what happens emotionally. We do it at work. If I stay awake till 2 a.m. and reply to every email and write every report, I can go into the office at 7 after I've sorted out all the packed lunches and done everything I need to do, and I can then be the bestest at my job because I've sorted all my emails and done all my reports, and everyone thinks great of me, and I've given. And then the money that I receive and the gratitude I receive and the promotion that I receive and all of what I then receive, I'm worthy of because I've done everything I should do. This happens in a lot of professions. In my experience, it happens in the NHS a lot. In my experience of working alongside other colleagues, teaching is one of those things. And we see in these areas that all kind of carers, be it carers of children, be it carers of the elderly, be it carers of those with health issues or emotional issues, we then see that what we have is a depleted workforce because we keep giving and we keep seeing this lack. But also it depowers what people can actually do. It depowers actually what we can offer ourselves. And what we find is we keep giving out and we don't give to ourselves. And that's the tricky bit. Because how do we give to ourselves? It's easy to give to others. It's easy to romance others. It's easy to say, hey, let's go for dinner. I'll take you for dinner. It's easy to buy books. It's easy to spend time. It's great as a mother. I can spend time with my kids. I can read books. And this morning I walked past the bookshelf and I saw my absolutely favouriteest book, which is Pride and Prejudice. And I've been working with it loads this week, actually. It's just come up in sessions, which is just awesome, to be able to use that literacy. And I just love it, I love this book so much. And I've been searching for a book to read this weekend because I have some time, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do some reading in the sunshine. And then this is like, why am I not reading that? I haven't read it since 10 years nearly. 10 years. I haven't read it since my first was born. What is going on? Why am I read daily with my children. Why am I not offering that to myself? What is going on that we don't offer to ourselves? Even with the experience, even with knowing, we don't. And making that commitment to those things, noticing those things. Now, they sound like tiny things, right? But actually, these are the things that avoid the crazy ass burnout. These are the things that really do. They are the nubbins of who we are in our soul. These are the things that actually, it is about making daisy chains in the garden. It is about spending time drinking a cup of tea and listening to the blackbirds singing. It is about going for a wander and watching the sunset. These things cost nothing. It is about grabbing a book, and be that from the library or be that from someone else's bookshelf, and you saying, hey, can I nab that one? Can I borrow that? What is it about being cheerful about what we offer, both to others and ourselves, rather than coming from a depleted place, rather than coming from a meeting the needs place? Because also, we perceive these needs of others, okay? We perceive the needs of our boss. We perceive the needs of our other halves. We perceive the needs of our children even, And sometimes, yeah, obviously when they're newborn, we need to do that, right? But we know that there's a basic kind of 5 of things that they need: feeding, nappy change, sleep, no pain, colds, etc., etc. But what is it we can actually offer ourselves to avoid that overwhelmed place? I'm a list maker. I love lists so much. I have a shopping list, I have a to-do list, I have a financial list, I have a work list, I have a home list. I love my lists. And I was really ashamed of lists for years, but actually, what is there to be ashamed about? They work for me. They make me cheerful. I love them. And it doesn't work having nice booklets either. I need lists that are on different pieces of paper. And I just love it. It makes me cheerful to have those lists. And it means that I can take the edge off the overwhelm. What are your techniques that take the edge off the overwhelm? Because when we go into that overwhelmed place too much, too often, and we are giving out and giving out and giving out and giving out, and the fact that this lack is just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger for us, we are so separated from who we actually are and what we actually need to nourish our soul. And that's the actual real true need. And that's the place that I invite you to. That's the place which I just, let's talk before it feels crazy, and it's an invitation for let's talk to me, but also that's an invitation, let's just talk, let's go for a wander with our loved ones. Let's FaceTime them randomly. Let's have that conversation, even if it starts on a WhatsApp or a text message. Chat to your pets, chat to your tomato plants, just chat away. Chatter, because it's that internal conversation. I tend to notice in my work and as a human being myself that it's the negative that we hear the most. It's that, no, you shouldn't have done that. No, it shouldn't be like that. And, that negative, harsh voice. What's it like to actually start inviting, not saying no to that voice, because, you've had that negative no voice for a long time. So it's not about saying go away. It's about saying, okay, well, where's the other side of that conversation? Maybe turn taking with yourself. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, there we go. That's the thing. Turn taking with yourself. Having that internal conversation of what do I really need to nourish and nurture, and maybe prevent that too much when is too much. Identifying that can be extremely hard. Our bodies do give us some wonderful clues and signals, really. It's a bit like a lighthouse sometimes of saying, hey. And if you've ever had a panic attack, that will be something that you will know very well. If you suffer from migraines, if you suffer from any unknown pain, if you suffer from depression, anxiety, if you suffer, basically, there's this, the word. My friend Rosie from Rosie Glow talks about dis-ease. Disease is dis-ease, and that very much is similar to what I talk about the fact of, and she talks about the fact of being out of alignment. What is it like to be out of alignment? And what is it like to go, hey, I want to be in alignment. I want to be in that place where I know that this version of life and this version of me that's showing up for life is that. And this means sometimes tweaking certain things. It means that maybe not every email will be sent. Maybe not every birthday card will be sent. Maybe there isn't a perfect answer and a perfect response. But there is for you. And finding that place where it's not a massive void, where you're too much, overwhelmed, squashed into life. But you're like, do you know what? That's the wiggle room. That's the place where I can feel most content, most peaceful. And that's the indication of the path to follow. Yeah, there is loads I can say about this. I think, it is important to be generous. It is important to be loving and giving. But it really is important to understand what that means to you, for you. Because we can't give from an empty cup. We need to put our oxygen mask on before we are able to help and serve others. And most importantly, what's it like to do that cheerfully? Rev Adam Rylett, used to talk, when I listened to him way back, it feels like yesterday, used to talk about the fact of giving your cheerful cash. And I love that. I like cheerfulness. And a few people I know misspell my name, and it used to really narc me. And then I read it, and it says cheery, and it was deliberate. So there we go. What's it like to be deliberately cheery? I'm not all the time. And but there's always something to aim for. So this is Direct Joy for today. I will see you next week. We're back on a roll of weekly Tuesdays. Hopefully the replays will be up ASAP on IGTV and YouTube. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. There's lots in the pipeline for me at the moment. So mainly ecotherapy, but also some kind of community group stuff coming up. Joining together around the fire, having space to really share in a setting that is beautiful, in a setting that really offers us the opportunity to share together in a confidential space, not group therapy like you know it, much more Joy style. So if you're interested in that, drop me a line. There will be loads of promo material when it actually we start getting dates together. But yeah, that's the plan. And also to enjoy the sunshine and nourish our souls. So that's all from me today. Stay in touch. Keep messaging. I love your questions. I love to hear from you. It's great to see you on live. It's great to see everybody who watches the replays, and it's great to be in touch with people that, and their families and their friends, because people are getting in touch, and it's awesome. So yeah, keep talking, and peace and love for everyone today. Cheerio.